New listing, MHC horizontal milling machine, power production mill, free shipping, pre-owned, $2,600 and buy it now. Okay. Yeah, this is one of our sellers that sells their stuff. Sells their stuff here on Fleabay. So, what's this say? What's it say? Read every line. The table is almost flawless. You won't find one like this. It is a production style and has all the factory stops. Comes with 1 horsepower motor. However, the wiring is awful and needs to be redone. No broken wires. So this is not an original motor off the bat, because I think the biggest they put on these was a 3/4 horse. Has a 7/8 arbor. Oh, the back gear lever has a broken knob, but it still works. Okay. So I'm gonna say this is a pass right off the bat before we even look at it. Let's look at the big pictures. See what we got here. I see a miter gear sitting on the side. I see another gear hung up on an arbor. It does have an overarm support. These are this is the production lever, and these are the original stops we're talking about. Now, I'm gonna have to look a little bit further so I can remember what I'm looking at. This is a production lever, so when you run this lever, it raises and lowers the table. There is supposed to be another lever just like this that mounts right here, and this is what traverses your table back and forth to the left and right as you look at it, or as forward and back if you're standing in front of the machine out here. So we'll go back and look at it a little bit closer, and we'll see what they show as we go along. Now this is going to be proper with the arbor support and that. It's got both the overarm knobs, it looks like. Got the driver, got an arbor, which is a 7/8 arbor. Kind of grungy looking, and probably, this is probably at least to some degree a parts machine, because when we look at the coloring on the guards and even on the main casting, then when we compare them with this overarm, the support, and then the support bar, they've got quite a bit more patina than I'm seeing, especially on this guard. So I'm going to say that there's been some stuff done to it. Does have the knob down here, and of course these bolts have been changed. They're much too clean and new. You know, those look like a grade 5 something or other. Much too new to be factory bolts. Okay, these are going to be the proper guarding, but look at the colors of them. So they weren't on this machine. That's not a factory Atlas machine. It's like I say, it's a 1 horse that they put on there. Yeah, see, this is not proper for here. This is a proper Atlas crank handle, but it would go to your vise, your all of the Atlas accessories that use these with this 3/8 square hole. This is the accessory handle. This is not the proper handle that goes on here. The handle that goes on here should be the same handle as is on the up and down movement of the machine. So it does have the stops. Now it's also possible, I'll have to go back and look at the book. Yeah, see, this is somebody else's, who knows what motor that is, which doesn't necessarily detract from it, but the table looks pretty good, and this table is different than the standard table that you'll see on the MS and the MSCs. This is just a rack and pinion style table. There's no lead screw underneath or anything like that. So that is different. This is a machine that's been put together. 10423, an M1A casting, and this is your vertical stops. So it's a fairly complete machine. It is. It's one you don't see too often. Let's see, it would have originally had a military tag, probably U.S. Navy tag, U.S. Army, something like that. Probably not a dealer tag, but a lot of times these had a military tag on them. So it's missing that tag. And being a later machine, it probably did have the overarm support bar. The earlier machines, I'm not sure on these. This is your standard speed chart, and of course, when the people start trying to clean them up, why then you're peeling the paint off underneath them. See, this is a repair. The later machines were screwed on. You know, we talked about them before, but this one's way too clean. So it's either broken one, it may have been missing the door and didn't have any of it. Maybe it originally had one that was drilled and tapped and screwed on there. Who knows? But that's been replaced. So we're looking at at least to some degree a parts machine. Is it a relatively desirable machine? If you want a production machine, yeah, it is. It's got link belts on it. I don't care for link belts. Those are not original pulleys on there. They've been changed out. Yeah, the paint colors don't match on the, you know, it's a good machine. You know, it's probably a fairly nice machine. Is it worth, what, 2,600 bucks? Yeah, see, they're missing the bottom. This is a later style handle on here. Missing the whole bottom of the handle that you would grab. Yeah, it's a interesting machine only from the aspect of you don't see the production stuff, and that's the one that I'm supposed to be working on that's going to go back together as a production machine. But it's not close enough to be original. They did have a crank handle here. Now, I don't know if the earlier machines like this had this overarm support. It's very possible that the earlier machines had the same nose sticking out here that was on the earlier MFs and MFCs. My MF had a tapered. I don't know if it still does or if it just had the tapered one that didn't accept these bars before they put them on. So neither here nor there. Interesting machine. Missing one handle. Like I say, that there should be one more of these handles that goes up on here on that shaft. Other than that, relatively complete. Looks pretty good. Is it worth 2,600 bucks? Not to me. $1,500 machine, only because it's that rare. So a little more than half, maybe. Polymer device, Atlas Craftsman lathe milling attachment, 164 3 bids. I'm not going to bother to look at that. 10-12 inch metal lathe, 2-step motor pulley, Atlas mill, 5/8 bore. It's not given the number here. They want 75 bucks for it. You know, for originality, they're worth down. This is from the same outfit that's selling the production milling machine. If you can get these pulleys for 25 bucks, they've got to be something pretty special to be worth more than that, and that's not that special. Gibbs milling attachments, horizontal milling machine, table feed gear case, an MF1, 275 bucks or best offer. Rusted up, who's selling? Yeah, this is a seller that's been around for a while, but not one that I really recognize. Yeah, shipping's free. It should be for 275 bucks. These gearboxes, you know, they should be worth 150 bucks in used condition, because they are used. You know, it doesn't matter what you say, what lie you try and tell, it's a used part. Rusty back in here. You know, it's been cleaned up enough to where all the paint's gone off the badging. Rust underneath here. This is a machine that's been rusted up and looks like crap, and so they decided to sell parts of it. Yeah, this looks like this has probably been wet. You know, I mean, normally you just peel these off when they're cleaning them up and stuff, but it almost looks like we got a little bit of etching and stuff. This has been wet. A little bit of degrading there on the lever. Yeah, this is well, it's obviously been wet, looking at all the rust on the universal joints and stuff. 150 bucks. Half. Milling attachments, 400 bucks. Original OEM Atlas Craftsman lathe, 10 500 milli attachment vice clamp bolts, brand new. Well, it can't be, well, I guess they could be OEM if they're brand new, but 15 bucks and $5 shipping. Yeah, these are a Chinese import screw. You know, I mean, they're a standard square-headed screw. Those don't even, they're not even a match set. Look at the way the threads end there. Which, that's what leads me to believe they're probably a offshore import, Chinese import, something like that. And if we're looking at that picture, it looks like they're different lengths. Looks like we're the same level at the bottom, and looks like the one on the left is quite a bit taller than the one on the right, and the end threads are all wonky. So I bet if you go to your local Fastenal or something like that, why they can probably sell those to you individually for probably $2 or $3 a piece would be my guess. Huh. Ha ha ha. MFC base M1-3, 70 bucks and $30 shipping. Why would you need a base? Off of the same machine, it looks like from the color, is the spindle belt card cover M1401, $199 and $20 shipping. You know, this is a standard guard. This guy's been around a while, $20 shipping. Removed from an early Atlas MF milling machine, no breaks or cracks. Please look at the pictures carefully to judge actual condition. Ask any questions you have prior to purchasing. Well, let's look at the pictures on these. M1401. Now, I don't remember. This actually probably is the earlier one. Like, let's see the other side of it. Yes, this is like is on my MF machine. This takes the full one-piece guard, side guard, so it's all open on this side. This is the early one. I believe the got a wear mark there. I believe the let's go back to the first picture. This is the 401. I believe they made 2 or 3 versions of this, and I think the next one is a 401B, I believe is the number for the more common larger guard. Maybe it's an A, but I believe it's a 401B. You know, is it worth 200 bucks? You know, if I'm casting these for anybody, I'm probably going to charge now about $200 for that casting without a knob. You know, so is it worth 200 bucks? Maybe. Only in this day and age, because normally, like I say, I don't, the clip's busted off of it. This is the other side of the knob. This is a headless set screw that holds the knob on, and then this has got the little clip. I've seen clips here. I've seen little bumpers. I think mine just has got a folded over clip that rests on the main casting. Yeah, see, paints or the plating's all gone here. So 200 bucks, yeah. It's a little high, but maybe not. Headstock spindle back gear eccentric M1 Day 2AX pre-owned, and this is off that same machine. I'm not going to go and look at it. 500 bucks and 78.28 shipping. No. Nope, 200 bucks, less than half. The knee assembly off the same machine, $399.99 and $76.19 shipping. No, 200 bucks. Okay, I always like these. Atlas Lathe Milling 1012 attachment number 500A, new old stock with original box. Got the original box, $699.99 and $84.19 shipping. Let's look at it just because it's so outrageously high priced. Oh yeah, this is the same seller. What liars are we telling here? Unused Atlas Milling attachment. It comes in the original box with original instructions. It appears to have never been used. The attachment bolts are still in their plastic bags. There are some surface rust from sitting in the original box for 48 years. Nope, if it's got rust, it's a piece of shit. Okay. Now I don't think these milling attachments are worth 400 bucks, let alone 7. So let's just look at the big pictures. Just tool on through. I can't tell anything from the front. First one, I'm gonna say this is one that's either been listed or I looked at this not too long ago. But let's go through the big pictures, and maybe I'll go back and pick it apart a little bit more. Looks like we got some rust in here. It looks like that's got a fair amount of rust there. See, in reality, it doesn't matter if they're unused, if they're new old stock, and if they've got the original box. If they are rusted up, no. Yeah, see, we got quite a bit of surface rust here, and this almost appears to me like that might be. Maybe that's all original, but do you really see something rusted up like that and then have? Looks like we got bare metal here, but we've got paint there. I don't know. I tend to question some of these when they say they've never been used, and you know, see, that's got oil dripped down and dried. I don't know. Maybe it is new old stock. Maybe it has never been used. Is it worth $699.99? Nope. It's worth 300 bucks. Excellent 6-inch milling attachment, $319. Yeah, see, I'm not even going to look at this stuff. Okay, Atlas horizontal milling machine M1-22 arbor cutter guard Q89. I don't remember that Q being the number, but pre-owned, $500. Buy it now, $21.50 shipping. This is the overarm cover. This is from our same seller, or the original seller we were looking at. This way out of price anyway. Rare part for an Atlas mill. Functions flawlessly, complete. Just attach and tighten the nut. All it is a casting with a stud sticking on one end, and the stud's permanently affixed. Functions flawlessly. There's nothing for it to do. It sits on the end of the headstock. This is another. I have no respect for this seller. This is let's just look at the big picture. This is all that our overarm support is, and this one's been used and abused, you know. And these were never perfect anyway. We hear some talk about Atlas castings being perfect, and I went along for the longest time and tried to make all of my castings perfect because I want them to be as good as they can be, obviously. The reality is that's not what Atlas originally was. Like in this one, this is, you know, they probably had a riser here, screw or rise or something, and we've got big inclusions there and everything. Same way with here. Looks the same way. So these castings were not perfect. So, you know, some of them were fairly rough. This one's not rounded, it's ground off on this end. This is a steel pin that goes in here. It goes into the headstock. And that's all there is to them. Yeah, you see all these inclusions, and same way right here. So these were not a perfect casting. None of the Atlas castings were. I've seen some very good castings, but I've also seen some that are really, really ugly. And this is a parting line down the center. There was a core put in these, but and probably two halves of core were put together. They would have made cores, mounted them together, and then set them in place. So that's going to have to be, now this is going to be the only machine surface other than the backside on this casting, is right in here to sit over the where the arbor comes out. So this is one I've looked at a little bit. I haven't got around to make a pattern for it. I guess we'll, hopefully in our rejuvenated state, I've got quite a bit of pattern making to do. And now the weather's getting nicer, getting cooler again, where I'm more apt to be casting. So we'll see what we can get done over the next few months. Horizontal mill MF power table feed mechanism, change-o-matic parts only. Now this is the same one that guy was parting out, this cream-colored one that they wanted way too much for the headstock and things like that. They want $1199.99. I'm not even going to go look at it in $76.19 shipping. No, there's $300 worth of, maybe $400 worth of parts here, less than half. Okay, new replacement Atlas horizontal milling machine kickout, part number M164 and MF14. $24.97 to $37.97 and $367 shipping. Let's look at these. These are, you don't see too many kickouts. What are they doing here? Is this a, oh, polymer. Polymer. I will guarantee you, what's the description say? Offer a new production table feed kickout. Often missing these parts were found on all models with power table feed. Okay, there's quite a bit of description here. Goes on to talk all about additive machining, which means 3D printed. I will guarantee, I don't care what kind of polymer it is, that under extended use on this kickout, it will not hold up. Will not, I can guarantee it. Every time it comes up against the stop, and in reality you don't use them that often, but I will guarantee you there's enough wear and friction in the table and in your gearbox and the roller assemblies and everything that the portion that kicks out the feed gear is going to wear out on these. This is not going to hold up. You know, I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care how good they tell you additive machining is and stuff. I don't care how tough the material is. Unless it is cast iron or steel, it is not going to hold up to that. That's why you've not seen me offer these in aluminum. Aluminum would wear for a while, but it will not hold up there. This is going to be a bad design. Going to be a bad design. I don't care who's doing it. I don't care what the deal is. So no sense in going any farther than that with that. Same way, eccentric knob for a back gear here, $40, $39.97. Let's see, I'm getting kind of tired of this stupid already. It's 3D printed. We don't want that shit. So we've got some other stuff down here, but nothing that's gonna mean anything. Rare Atlas milling machine M1-401B. So the B is the later model belt guard. Fine used, pre-owned, $149.99 and $36.43 shipping. You know, I see they have, and this is from a seller that sells some new reproduction stuff and a bunch of used stuff. It's going to be a decent guard. There's no knob on it. It's going to have to be painted. It's all grungy and stuff. I could go and read about it more, but it's a standard M1-401B, which is what's on the later machines. $150. I think I'm charging more for a new reproduction on those. So, you know, if you need one, maybe that's a good deal. Which actually makes me feel somewhat better, because we've been pounding on these for so many months now, or a year now, or two. I don't know how long we've been doing these little Fleabay editions. But this is a seller that realizes that his garbage new reproductions is not worth 3 times what it is. Used parts are not worth twice what they would like to have out of them. So that's worth having. Outstanding Atlas horizontal mill knee assembly Q66 pre-owned, $400 by now. No, those were $200. Yeah, this is from our same seller. I'm not going to look any farther than that. $200. Same seller, and these are ones that we've seen before. Outstanding Atlas horizontal mill M1-31X spindle assembly bearings. He's wanting $400 and 21 shipping. This is the stripped down head that does have the shaft and bearing, spindle and bearings, only because he couldn't get them out probably. $400 and $22, $21.50 shipping. Nope, they're worth $150, less than half. So we're not going to waste any more time on those. I think we're back into stuff that we've looked at here before I took a little break here. And let's look at lathes, and then we'll close this out.